Okay guys, so today is watching the entire X-Men franchise, and for the X-Men movies, the only movies I've seen are Deadpool and Deadpool 2. I haven't seen anything else. I'm a huge MCU fan, but I don't really know about X-Men, and since there's probably not going to be the next X-Men movie is going to be New Mutants, and that's going to be the last of it for this universe, sort of, because then they're going to the MCU. Except for Deadpool, I really don't know. The X-Men is very complicated, but I've never seen this before, so I thought it was a good time to watch it. The X-Men films are very weird because of the timeline. I am watching it in chronological order, believe me, and I'm doing this based off of this one website. I think it was like Digital Spy or something that had it. It was like, it starts off originally and then it splits off into like 2 separate timelines. So I'm gonna try watching it that way because it's really confusing. So we're starting to watch the X-Men. It's very complicated, but let's do it. Okay guys, so I'm about to watch X-Men First Class, and I'm pretty excited to see this. This movie is considered pretty good, I've seen. Then, like, the X-Men franchise, some are really good, like Deadpool and Logan, and like the original X-Men, and some are really bad, like Dark Phoenix, Apocalypse, and all that. So, let's start off with First Class, which is somewhere in the middle there. Some people like it, some people don't. But it's pretty interesting. I think it takes place during the 60s. I really don't know, but let's watch X-Men First Class. Okay guys, so I just finished X-Men First Class, and this movie was really good. I really liked it. The origin story of everybody. Magneto's story was really interesting. Then you got Professor X, and then also Beast, and it was so great. I really love this movie. That one scene where they're recruiting all the different mutants is really cool. And so far, I'm really liking X-Men because this movie was really good. Like, all the different power sets that they have. The ending is pretty good. Honestly, this whole movie in its whole is really good. I don't really know what to say about it. It was just good. I said Beast. They start out, ooh, I like that guy with like the red rings that like explode from him. He's pretty cool. Don't know his name. Sorry, I'm not gonna know a lot of people's, like, a lot of the characters' names. The guy who also like sort of fly, cause he can like scream really loud, like him. And overall, I really love this movie. But next up is X-Men Days of Future Past. Okay guys, so I'm about to watch X-Men Days of Future Past. The main part, okay, so the website that I'm on has it. I've looked through it many times, and apparently in this movie, they're in the past, some of it, sometimes they're in the future. So right now I'm supposed to be watching the whole past timeline that takes place after First Class. So I think it's gonna be a lot of skipping and knowing the actors, because just by this poster here with the different actors, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be different actors. So there's gonna be a lot of skipping around. And then I'm gonna be visiting this movie a lot because apparently I have to visit the future sequences like twice and then past sequence again. I'm very confused with this, but I'm going to watch it. Let's do it. Okay guys, so I just finished X-Men Days of Future Past, like the main past sequences, I guess, and it was really interesting. This movie was really good. I'd say, I don't know if it was better than First Class, but I really enjoyed it. Logan's a great character, as always, and I viewed this movie from the perspective of young Professor X, because I'm pretty sure I have to watch it again later from like Loden's perspective. I don't know, it's very confusing, but apparently on the website it says in the timeline that in this timeline they capture Mystique, and then the Sentials all happen in this timeline I'm about to watch. Then there's another timeline where I think I rewatch the whole thing, but like the sentients never exist, Sentials or whatever. But overall, this movie was really good. I really liked the characters in it. Switching between the like past and future wasn't as like annoying as I thought it was gonna be, because sometimes it would be like 2 seconds, 2 seconds, so I kind of like skip through each thing. But I tried to skip through some things. And it's that weird post-credit scene, which I don't even know what that's about. Blue person building the pyramids? I really don't know. But overall, I like this movie. And next is we're going through Timeline A into X-Men Origins Wolverine. Let's watch it. Okay guys, I'm about to watch X-Men Origins Wolverine, and I've never seen this movie before, as I said earlier. I've heard this is one of the worst ones. They have Deadpool in it, sort of. It introduces Deadpool, but like a weird version of Deadpool. And they're trying to start like a whole thing with X-Men Origins and do different characters. I think they were also going to do Magneto, which was put into First Class later, and they were going to do like a bunch of different characters with X-Men Origins, but they only got Wolverine. But I'm excited to see how Wolverine becomes Wolverine in this universe, in this timeline, I guess. So I'm pretty excited to see that. It's a little bit on the shorter side, but yeah, let's watch X-Men Origins Wolverine. Okay guys, I just finished X-Men Origins Wolverine. I don't know what to say about this movie. It felt like so long, kept dragging on and on and on. CGI is horrible. The story elements like are so incomprehensive. They try to cram a lot into here in this movie. Don't get me started about Deadpool. They did not do Deadpool well. I think the few things that I liked were the opening where like they're flashing through all the different wars. That was pretty cool, and it was like shot very nicely. I liked Wade Wilson before his mouth was covered up. He was actually pretty funny. I liked him. Otherwise, I really don't know what to say about this movie. It gave some backstory for Wolverine, and that's pretty much it. But next up is the original X-Men. Okay guys, so I'm about to watch the original X-Men. I'm pretty excited because this is regarded as one of the like building blocks for for making superhero movies. Like they had Blade, which like Blade 1 and 2, huge building blocks. Same with like the original 3 X-Men and the first 2 Spider-Man. All of these like built up the MCU. So I'm pretty excited to watch X-Men and see how this is. In this universe, I just watched X-Men Origins Wolverine, so I wanted to see. And then I go through the whole trilogy, and then the Wolverine, and then part of, I think Days of Future Past. Then we go into the second timeline. But I'm pretty excited to watch X-Men. Let's do it. Okay guys, so I just finished X-Men, and this movie was really good. I really enjoyed the plot, the characters. I love their different interactions with each other. The whole setting of the school is really cool. The villain, Magneto, is amazing. And honestly, there's like not that many things I can say bad about this movie. The CGI in this movie is better than X-Men Origins. And that came out 9 years after. Also, this movie, I don't really know what else to say. Sabretooth was in X-Men Origins, which takes place before, and like Wolverine's brother. But then he's also in this one, but he's all different. He's not Wolverine's brother. But then they say Wolverine lost his memories, which did happen in Origins, so glad Origins explained that. And yeah, it just made sense. Out of all the X-Men movies they made, I really wish they made one where it showed the time in between pretty much Days of Future Past and like original X-Men that's not Origins. Like the one where Professor X gets like the original team with Storm and Cyclops. I don't know, maybe a later movie has like a flashback scene where that happens. But I wish they touched on that. But yeah, next is X2. X-Men 2. Don't know if there's a subtitle or anything, but now it's called X2. Let's watch it. Okay guys, I'm about to watch X2, X-Men United, and I'm pretty excited since I've never seen this before. I've heard it's like up to the standards of the first. Some people think it's better, some people don't. So I'm pretty excited to see this movie. Some people have it as their favorite. So I'm really excited to see this movie. This movie came out 3 years after the first one. So it took them 3 years to make another sequel. But yeah, X2, X-Men United. I read the thing with Stryker coming back. So I'm pretty excited to watch X2, X-Men United. Okay guys, so I just finished X2, X-Men United. This movie was definitely the best. It was really good. Nightcrawler I liked as a character. And it is just, like, the plot is really good. The villain in this is really good. You have Stryker, who's back again. And then Magneto, you think he's going to be a good guy for a while. Oh no, he turns out evil again. He wants to kill all humans. The president's in it, which in movies they always call it Mr. President. But this movie was really good. I don't really know what to say about it. The action in this is really top-notch. You get to see a little bit of Jean Grey, Dark Phoenix in it. I'm pretty sure they issue it in The Last Stand a little bit more. But honestly, this movie was amazing. And while I was watching this movie, I realized the whole timeline thing. So, you know how you have First Class and then Days of Future Past, the past sequence, and then during this past that I'm supposed to be watching, it's not really in the movie, they have it where Mystique kills the person, is captured, and then all of this happens. And once the end of this happens and the future comes where all the people die by those Sentinels or something, and that's the first timeline, while the second timeline is where it's where Mystique didn't kill the person and mutants were heroes and all that, and then you have all of those movies there, and then you end it with Logan going back to see all his friends, and the Sentinels aren't dead, Jean Grey's not dead, and all of that stuff, and then you have Logan, the movie after. And I'll link the website down below, so you guys go check that out down below. And then I'll also think I'll have a photo of the different timelines. So if you want to watch it, I'll have the time stamps for each movie, especially Days of Future Past, because it's a little bit confusing with that. I don't really explain it on the website, but I'll have the time stamps, and you can see that photo down in the description too. Yeah, check out both of those links. But, sorry, enough of me talking. Here's X-Men Last Stand I'm about to watch. Okay guys, I'm about to watch X-Men The Last Stand, and I'm pretty excited for this movie because I think they explore more of Jean Grey. I thought she died in the last one, but even by this thumbnail you can see her, so I'm a little confused. But I'm excited to see this movie. It seems pretty good, and hopefully it can meet the standards of the previous two movies or even better. But yeah, here is X-Men The Last Stand. Okay guys, so I just finished X-Men The Last Stand. This movie was really good. I really liked the whole Jean Grey plot point. It was really interesting. I wish she like talked more. It seems sort of like weird. She was just standing there the whole time doing nothing. It was pretty much like that. But overall, I really loved it. Professor X died. Like, what? Magneto lost his powers? Well, kind of. If you saw that little end scene at the end where the chest piece moves a tiny bit. And then, like, Wolverine is really good. We get Beast in this, well, again. And then we also have, shoot, what was I gonna say? Oh, Cyclops dies. What? I like Cyclops. Then, we also did Shadowcat. I think that's her name. And then, I don't know where Nightcrawler was in this one. He wasn't really in it, which I'm very confused about. But yeah, that was X-Men The Last Stand. I really liked it. It was a really good movie. I still think X2 was better, but this was still a solid movie. But next up is The Wolverine. Let's watch it. Okay guys, so I'm about to watch The Wolverine, and I've never seen this movie before, as I said. I think I've said this a lot in this video. But I don't really know what to think about this movie, because no one ever talks about it when talking about the X-Men. They never mention this movie pretty much ever. So I don't know if it's good, if it's bad, if it's in the middle there. Honestly, this movie could be amazing. I don't even know. No one ever mentions this movie. It came out in 2013, so right before Days of Future Past, a little bit after First Class. So yeah, let's watch The Wolverine. I don't really know what to say about it. Okay guys, so I just watched The Wolverine, and this is the worst movie out of all the X-Men movies I've seen so far. I do not know what is going on with this movie. It was just so boring, the plot was so predictable, and it was just really weird and just bad and so unfunny when they tried to make jokes. The only things that I liked about it were the opening, where he's at war and he saves the guy's life. I liked that. It was beautifully shot and it looked really cool. And the post-credit scene, mid-credit scene with Professor X and Magneto. That was all I liked about this movie. Everything else was horrible. The redheaded girl was just a big exposition dump, and they tried to put some backstory on her, but it didn't really work. And then you had the guy that Wolverine saved. That guy became the villain. It was just so obvious. And the final battle, the samurai dude, it's not good. And then the villain Viper was really weird and just really bad. I did not like this movie. But next up is X-Men Days of Future Past, the future sequence at the beginning of the movie. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so I'm about to watch X-Men Days of Future Past, the beginning future sequence, and when I first watched it, I didn't really know where to start, so I started watching it, but then it talked about the future, and I skipped until I saw Logan sort of in the past, and then so I rewound a bit right until like he entered it, and that's pretty much, and then I ended it right before Mystique didn't shoot the person, because in this timeline that I'm watching, the first timeline, timeline A, she shoots the person, and then it's still Magneto's like apprentice sort of, or like partner, and so first 15 minutes around of this are in the timeline, and then they all die, and that's timeline A. Then we move on to timeline B, where Mystique is hailed as a hero. But let's get into the final parts of timeline A. Okay guys, so I just finished X-Men Days of Future Past, future sequence at the beginning, and as I said before, I only saw some of it until like this, like probably like the first like 3 minutes, but I really like this. It gave some backstory of what happened in the past, and it was really interesting. One thing is that there's so many characters that we've never met that are just there, and we don't know who they are. And then how did we know that Kitty Pryde could put people back into the past, time travel them, sort of? Like, that was never in the other movies. But if you look past that, it's actually a pretty good sequence. And so now all the X-Men are dead. That's timeline A. So now we're going to move on to timeline B, where what happened is the events of X-Men First Class, the exact same thing, but now I'm going to watch X-Men Days of Future Past, pretty much the rest of it with the past sequence, which I've already seen, but see what after it happens when Mystique doesn't kill Trask. So yeah, I am going to watch it. And when I watch that, I'm going to watch it from Logan's perspective instead of past Professor X's perspective. But yeah, let's get into it.